That was my prom. And I think I can't remember if we went out to dinner or if I made my sister this dinner and then made her wait on us, which we had this prom. It's your prom, I'm gonna wait on you. So that was fun. And yes, we did it. Yes, I knew at that point I liked boys, but I went with the girls' prom.
Okay.
I was thinking, sing with the boys. You ever tell him that?
I think I ran into him like 5 years out.
Does he know now?
He knows now.
Oh, yeah. It's good to hear. What was your prom song? Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. What kind of music was that? This is part of all. Oh, yeah. Hey, David.
in the locker room, and I'm taping up my knee, and Larry's undressing a couple lockers down from me, and he's kind of skinny, weak, and I started thinking about my father and his attitude about weakness. And the next thing I knew, I jumped on top of him and started wailing on him. And my friends, they just laughed and cheered me on. And afterwards, when I was sitting in Vern's office, all I could think about was Larry's father. And Larry had me go home and explain what happened to him. And the humiliation, fucking humiliation he must have felt. It must have been unreal. I mean, I apologize for something like that. There's no way. It's all because of me, I'm not a man. God, I fucking hate him. He's like this mindless machine that I can't even relate to anymore. Andrew, you've got to be number one. I won't tolerate any losers in this family. Your intensity is for shit. Win! 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 You son of a bitch. You know, sometimes I wish my knee would give. And I wouldn't be able to wrestle anymore. And he could forget all about me.
And now for a dramatic reading from The Breakfast Club.
Well, what I do for $1 million, well, I guess I do as little as I had to.
Claire, that's boring.
Andrew, well, how am I supposed to answer?
Could you do that a little more butch? Less wrist.
Andrew, well, how am I supposed to answer?
Claire, the idea is to search your mind for the absolute limit.
Not you, Butch.
Oh.
Kim Butch.
The idea is to search your mind for the absolute limit, like, would you go to school naked?
Andrew laughs.
Claire,
Andrew, would I have to get out of the car?
Claire, of course.
Andrew, in the spring or in the winter?
Claire, doesn't matter. Spring.
Make me believe it.
Andrew, in the front of the school or in the back of the school?
Claire, either one.
Andrew, yeah.
I do that. They all look at her. Allison, I'll do anything sexual. I don't need $1 million to do it either. Claire, you're lying. Allison, I already have. I've done just about everything there is, except a few things that are illegal. I'm a nymphomaniac. One more time. I'm a nymphomaniac. Claire rolls her eyes. Lie.
Brian, are your parents aware of this?
Allison, The only person I told was my shrink.
Andrew, and what did he do when you told him?
Allison, he nailed me. Claire, very nice. Allison, I don't think that from a legal standpoint what he did can be construed as rape since I paid him. Claire, he's an adult. Allison is relishing this attention. Yeah, he's married too. Claire notes her disgust. Do you have any idea how completely gross that is? Allison, well, the first few times. Claire, first few times, you mean he did it more than once? Allison, sure. Claire, are you crazy?
Brian, obviously she's crazy if she's screwing her shrink.
Allison to Claire, have you ever done it? Claire, I don't even have a psychiatrist. Allison, have you ever done it with a normal person? Claire, now didn't we already cover this?
Bender, you never answer the question.
Claire, look, I'm not going to discuss my private life with total strangers. Allison, it's kind of a double-edged sword, isn't it? Claire, a what? Allison, well, if you say you haven't, you're a prude. If you say you have, you're a slut. It's a trap. You want to, but you can't. But when you did, you wish you didn't, right? Claire, wrong. Allison, or are you a tease?
Wait, could you make that sound a little more butch for me?
Or are you a tease?
Andrew, she's a tease.
Claire, well, why don't you just forget it?
Andrew, you're a tease and you know it.
Bender
All
to
girls
Andrew.
are teasers.
Bender to Andrew. She's only a tease if what she does get you hot. Claire, I don't do anything. Allison, that's why you're a tease. Claire, okay, let me ask you a few questions. Allison is suddenly defensive. I've already told you everything. Claire, no, doesn't it bother you to sleep around without being in love? I mean, don't you want any respect? This is the part in the movie where Claire, or Molly Ronald's character, starts to slut shame Ali Sheedy's character, Allison.
Where were we?
I'll get you. Allison, I don't screw to get respect. That's the difference between you and me. Claire, not the only difference, I hope.
Bender, face it, you're a tease.
Claire, I'm not a tease.
Bender, sure you are. You said it yourself. Sex is a weapon. You use it to get respect.
Claire, no, I never said that. She twisted my words around.
Bender, oh, then what do you use it for?
Claire, I don't use it, period. Claire is on the verge of tears.
Bender, oh, are you medically frigid or is it psychological?
Claire, I didn't mean it that way. You guys are putting words into my mouth.
Bender, well, if you just answer the question.
Andrew, be honest.
Brian, why don't you just answer the question?
Andrew, be honest.
Bender, no big deal.
Brian, yeah, answer it.
Andrew, answer the question, Claire.
Bender, talk to us. Andrew and Brian.
Come on, answer the question.
Bender, it's easy. It's only one question. Claire silences them all by screaming, "No! I never did it!" Silence for 2 beats. Allison, I never did it either. I'm not an nymphomaniac. I'm a compulsive liar. Claire, you are such a bitch. You did that just on purpose to fuck me over. Allison, I would do it though. If you love someone, it's okay. Claire, I can't believe you. You're so weird. You don't say anything all day, and then when you open your mouth, you unload all these tremendous lies all over me.
Andrew, you're just pissed off because she got you to admit something you didn't want to admit to.
Claire, okay, fine, but that doesn't make it any less bizarre.
What's bizarre? I mean, we're all pretty bizarre. Some of us are just better at hiding it, that's all.
Claire to Andrew, how are you bizarre? Allison decides to field that question. He can't think for himself.
The queer art of failure is about finding alternatives to conventional understandings of success in a heteronormative capitalist society, to academic disciplines that confirm what is already known according to approved methods of knowing, and to cultural criticism that claims to break new ground but cleaves to conventional archives. Low theory is a mode of thinking and writing that operates at many different levels at once. Low theory is derived from eccentric archives. It runs the risk of not being taken seriously and failure. It entails willingness to fail and to lose one's understanding to pursue ethical questions about complicity, capitalist society, counterintuitive academic disciplines that confirm what is already known. Queer theory's relation towards cultural phenomena that can easily be cultural criticism that claims to break childish, insignificant leads as visuals and homophobic. Low theory is in a neoliberal system that rests upon many different individuals. As an architect. Low theories provide for the queer art getting every winner by responding to the risk of not being taken seriously that makes detailed and well-drawn path, capitalist organizing, unknown territory, difficult questions about purpose, strategies, find counterintuitive proof seminal, something that queers do. Queer theories relate to breaking ground on someone excelling to be essential art and then treated as a childish, significant, as racist and rightful. It operates at many different levels of nuance. In a neoliberal theory that rests from eccentric every individual is an architect, runs the risk of not being taken seriously. Beyond every entails a willingness to fail and to desire to be taken seriously that pursue difficult questions about complicities instead of fighting for unknown territories of alternative knowledges. Queer strategies theory's relation towards cultural phenomenon, something that queers do and always done exceptionally well. Childish, insignificant, self-effaced, racist, and should be then treated as a form of success. In a neoliberal system that rests on the idea that every individual is an architect of his or her own fortune, behind every winner there is a crowd of losers. The desire to be taken seriously that makes people stay on well-trodden paths instead of exploring unknown territories of alternative knowledges and queer strategies of unknowing. Failing is something that queers do and have always done exceptionally well. Can someone excel at failing, and should we then treat it as a form of success?
I don't know, I'm just kind of wondering, who wears the pants here anyway? I kind of thought it was me.
Well, it's funny. I remember the last time we did this, the feedback I got from someone was, oh yeah, I get it, it's about patriarchy. I'm like, sure, whatever. For me, it was more like, oh yeah, I just want to see what it's like if both of us could actually find a pair of shorts we could fit into it, what would happen?
See, I think it's more about transformational transgression.
I have no idea what you just said.
Well, look it up.
I like that we're sharing the same space. It's really uncomfortable and it's super awkward.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah, it's kind of about being queer, but it's not, you know.
I wish the pocket was in front. This is so fun.
I can't find my iPhone or anything.
Make my butt look big.
You can't do selfies or anything.
I know.
Does this make my butt look big?
It makes it look better.
Oh, thank you. So much easier if we actually had a costume designer to make this, but yeah. I have to buy this from the thrift store.
I wish you got the right size.
It is the right size for 2 people. It's kind of amazing because this is actually for 1 person.
I can almost sit here and sleep.
Yeah, but you did the last time you showed me.
Oh, that's why you did that.
Was that revenge?
Revenge.
No, we're going this way.
No.
No, yes, we are.
Not on this.
Oh. So in the Breakfast Club at the beginning of the movie, there's a scene where all the kids are in the library, and Judd Nelson's character decides to cause a little mischief, and he gets up, and he pulls a screw out of the door, and the door slams shut, and the principal comes running back in saying, "Who did that? Who caused that ruckus?" And Judd Nelson's character says, "Screws fall out. The world's an imperfect place." And that just was always such a sad statement. Or at least just sort of sums up the fucking world we live in right now. So Loserville. This piece came from something my sister and I used to do. When we were teens, after we just watched The Breakfast Club, we would take our little tape recorder and we'd hold it against the TV as soon as we popped the VHS tape in, that yes, I'm that old. And we'd record the dialogue from the movie. And then we'd take the recorder, the tape, back to our room, and we'd listen to it, and then we'd replay it over and over again until we knew the scenes. And we'd do the dialogue. So we'd pick roles, like, oh, you're Molly Ringwald, oh, I'm Judd Nelson, or I'm Ali Sheedy, which is what I'd rather be, but. And so that's where that came from. But looking at it now, it's like, wow, I was so ahead of my time because I was actually able to center people of color in this primarily white movie. It's like, wow! And of course, like, two queer people, like, yes, in this exceedingly heterosexual movie, there are no gay people in any of his movies except as jokes. So that was fantastic. I was like, revolutionary. Cut to the present. The handbook for this piece is a book by Judith Halberstam called The Queer Art of Failure. It's super dense, super academic, but I love it because it talks about high art versus low art, and hopefully this piece is somewhere in between. It's like, it's entertaining, but it makes you think, whatever. So I'll leave that up to you. And right now it's kind of, at this place I want to pull in this very twisted sense of the Buddhist sense of presence, which is mindfulness, awareness, where you're at right now. And where am I right now? This is what I like to call the rant. I just want to know, why is it so hard to get my friends and colleagues to come to my shows? And sort of in a broader sense, why is it so hard for us to go support other artists? I mean, what is it? Is it money? Is it time? Is it competition? It's the larger issue of like, why is art so devalued in America? Same thing. Competition, money, time. Like, oh, I've got $25. Should I go see something at the International Arts Festival? Or should I go to the movies? Or get a drink? Or go out dancing? Or go out to dinner? It's just, for some reason, we don't tell adults, we don't tell children that art is something you should go see. It sustains you, it's valuable. And again, it makes me sad. And then what it takes to make this. I mean, this piece is only 35 minutes. Of course, Andrew told me, like, you're only allowed 35 minutes. Like, okay, fine, we have 30 minutes, you'll get that. But like, it's hard to get support. It's hard to get money to pay these people to dance with me. I'm not going to ask people to dance with me for free. I mean, yes, I'm paying them out of my pocket, which sucks, but I'm going to do it because I value their time. I value the contributions they've made to making this piece. Like, this is not me. Like, definitely they've been throwing stuff in all along. It's like, oh, I'm going to take my shirt off here. I'm like, let's take our shoes off. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. This collaborative process, I'm fine with it. I feel secure enough to let it go. And to say, you have as much stake in this as I do, which I love. It's not like old school, like, you do what I tell you. And I made the mistake of watching Baobab, and man, they just make me feel so old, just watching them jump around stage. I used to dance like that, but now it's like, oh, my knees hurt, my back, ouch. Let's do some soft contact partnering. Let's do gestures, something, let's talk, obviously. And that speaks to, like, am I good enough as an artist? Like, I'm constantly comparing myself to other people, especially when I do shared shows. Like, I was like, I'm at the wings saying, are they laughing at me, or are they laughing at them more? Like, do I get more applause, or do they get more applause? Like, it shouldn't be like, I shouldn't compete against my fellow artists. I should say, yay for you! And that's what I was feeling when I was watching it. I was like, yes, you make me so happy. So I'm like, I'm letting go of that, thank God. Like, that's a horrible way to go through life as an artist. Anyway, what is this piece about? Is it about gender? Is it about gender because I have one woman and two men? Or I have two men dancing together? Yeah, I guess so. Is it about being queer? All my pieces are about being queer on some level, about being on the outside, hence the title, Loserville. It's about that shared experience we all have about being marginalized, about feeling like we're outsiders, like we don't belong, feeling weird. Is it about race? Well, what in this country isn't about race? Come on, it's ridiculous. Is it about getting older? God, yes. It's about my body, my 49-year-old body, which I sort of had a dyslexic moment. I said I was 59, so people were like, oh my God, you're 59? You're fantastic. But this body is broken down from 20 years of dancing, 20 years of like really rigorous dancing and not caring. Thinking, I'm going to be dead by the time I hit 40. I'm just going to do whatever I want. And I'm feeling the effects now. It's feeling the effects from the fact that I don't take care of my body. I never go to class. Even though I show up at like ODC and people are like, oh, you're here to take class? Like, no, I'm just here to hang out. Or I'm here to use the bathroom. I smoke, I drink, I forget to take my medication all the time. This body is dealing with HIV, which ages my body internally 10 years faster. So I am 59. And now diabetes, which is not pleasant. And that's a new one. It's like, oh, this is why I have my water. My mouth is so dry. Last night, I was talking and my lips were sticking to my tongue. It was like, horrible. So yes, like, oh, well, you make adjustments for everything. I can't dance like Baobab, but I can dance like how I dance now. And there's something nice about that sort of acceptance. Like, I'm 49/59, but if I'm 59, make it look good, okay? Is this piece about nostalgia? About this movie that I love so much, The Breakfast Club. It's about a simpler time, a time where everything is black and white instead of this gray we live in. Gray, I mean, look at, well, anyway. First, let's talk about, did anyone read, there's this fantastic article in the New Yorker that Molly Ringwald wrote about, she's reflecting back on being in the Breakfast Club and what it means to her now in light of Me Too. And like having to explain to her daughter, there's a scene in the movie where Judd Nelson sticks his head between her crotch so he can look at her pussy. And she's thinking, well, how do I explain this to my daughter? She's like 10, and she's watching mommy on the screen, and someone's doing something that is very unacceptable to her. Like, what do I do with that? And just sort of her observations, like, it's because they had asked her, like, do you want to be in the reboot of The Breakfast Club? It's like, God, no more reboots, enough, do something original. But her thought was like, well, if I was going to be in it, it would have to be so different because it's super white, it's super sexist, it's so offensive to women. It's offensive to minorities because there are no people of color in it. Like, if they are, they're always in these weird bit parts where they're super stereotypes. It's like, in 16 Candles, the only Asian character was a horrible stereotype. Spoke broken English, was oversexed, and just, it was awful. You know, so she was having a hard time reconciling. Well, what do? I love this movie. This movie gave me my start. And John Hughes, the director, was my mentor. He guided me, he gave me a break. But she couldn't quite reconcile it. You know, so there's this thing of, well, I can love the art, but I can love the artist, but I can distance myself. I have to separate the two. The art, there's the art, the artist. Which brings us to Roseanne Barr. Hello. What a horrible person. Ambien my ass. And again, it's the same, like a lot of the critiques I've read about, it's like, she was fantastic. She was the working man's voice. She sided with the working class. But something about fame changes you, and Ambien obviously, but just like, wow, how can you do this? And how can we not call you out for this? And how could we not want you to get fired? Like, I was so happy when I read the papers today. Like, she got fired, yay, justice! And then Samantha Bee is being punished for speaking the truth. I'm sorry, Ivanka Trump is a feckless cunt. And I just love it because she used feckless. It elevates the word cunt. So. And it, like I've definitely had friends, like my fiance used to use the word cunt in a very derogatory way, but use it around one of my old dancers. She's like, there's nothing wrong with the word cunt. It's a great word if you're a woman. But you know, it's okay. That's different when you're a man. If you're using the word as a man, that is not okay. But you know, like whatever. My fiance was never one for propriety. So we come to the end of this. There's one more line in the movie that I just really gets me. It breaks my heart. It's at the end. They're all sitting in a circle. They've all poured out their hearts to each other. They've said why they're there, like what their problems are. One of them admits to trying to commit suicide with a flare gun, duh. And they have a good laugh, they have a good cry. And Ali Sheedy's character just stops and says, when you grow up, your heart dies. Like, oh, yes, it does.
Dear Mr. Burner, we accept the fact that we had to sacrifice a whole Saturday in detention for whatever it was we did wrong. What we did was wrong. But we think you're crazy to make us write an essay telling you who we think we are. What do you care? You see us as you want to see us. In the simplest terms, most convenient definitions. You see us as a brain, an athlete, a basket case, a princess, and a criminal. Correct. That's the way we saw each other at 7 o'clock this morning. We were brainwashed. About your family. Mine? Yeah, it's really easy.
Stupid, worthless, no good goddamn freeloading son of a bitch, retarded, big mouth, know-it-all asshole jerk. You forgot ugly, lazy, and disrespectful. Shut up, bitch! Who puts me in turkey pot pie? What about you, Dad? Fuck you. No, Dad. What about you? Fuck you! No, Dad! What about you? Fuck you! Is that for real? Want to come over sometime?
We accept the fact that we had to sacrifice our whole time paying attention for whatever it was we did wrong. But we think you're crazy to make us write an essay telling you who we think we are. You see us as you want to see us. In the simplest terms, the most convenient definitions. But what we found out is that each one of us is a brain, and an athlete,
and a basket case,
a princess, and a criminal. Does that answer your question? Sincerely yours. Practice.
Third consecutive year. Let's make it 4. If you don't follow us on Facebook. The company has its own Facebook page. Just do a search for STEAMROLLER Dance Company. We're there. Thank you.